and welcome to another episode of the Blue Mountain Makes podcast. I'm Mary Lynn, and I'm coming to you, as always, from the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, where I live with my husband, my dogs, and a bunch of chickens, two of which I'm currently on nurse patrol for, so I do have the window cracked so I can hear if anything goes awry. One of them is inexplicably sick, so I've been kind of force-feeding her cheese and eggs and things of high protein nature and water because she won't even drink on her own. And then the other one got caught by my dog yesterday, so she's got a bum leg. So I bring food and water to her. So fingers crossed, everybody gets better. We lost one last month for unknown reasons. She just, yeah. So that having been said, I'm on nurse duty for chickens. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've got going on as far as finished objects, works in progress, the usual. I do have some acquisitions I'd like to share with you, but I am going to try to keep it short. I'm losing light, and today I'm in my living room trying a little something different because the lighting in my office has been very strange the last couple times. I'm also recording on my computer, so hopefully that works out, but we'll see. So my husband and I went to Maine last week, so I'm hoping I'll have some footage that I can put in here. He took a lot of drone video of the rocky coastline and everything. It was really gorgeous, so fingers crossed that all works out. So let's just get into finished objects. So my only finished object this week is the Alpenglow by Andrea Mowry. Ta-da! Yay! I talked about this a little bit on my last episode. The yarns I used were all from my stash. I believe this is a Sadness yarn. This is Drops Kid Silk. The blue is Barocco Vintage, I believe. And then my contrast color is Melifiore Light. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. It's not a heavy contrast, obviously. The Melifiore, I really got to figure out how to say that word. It's a metallic yarn, so when the sun catches it just right, it's very pretty, but it is very subtle. It had some good contrast for the ribbing detail, but yeah, for the most part, it's like there's some dark purples in there, there's some gold and greens, and some of it's the same color blue as the main color, so it's kind of a crapshoot, but I really like it. It is very subtle. I have worn this out already. We had one day that was really cool, so I got to wear it to work, and then rapidly got too hot to wear it at work, so I had to cut it off. And yeah, so there's that. I made the size 3. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about with this is the collar. So she recommends for structural purposes that you knit the whole body, and I guess the arms too. You could, whatever. I knit the arms too, and then at the end you pick up around the top of the yoke, and you knit 4 inches and then fold over your cuff and collar. Anyways, and sew it down. And mine is not very stretchy. This part's very stretchy, but that's all I got. So, needless to say, this is one of those things you have to do your hair after you put it on because you have to kind of pop it over your head. I feel certain if I ripped out my sewn edge, which I think I did a pretty good job on. If I ripped out my sewn edge, I could probably loosen that up a bit. I'm not that worried about it. It does fit. It's okay. And if ever I get to be terribly annoyed with it, then I'll just pull it out. But until then, I think it's okay. I think I'm just going to roll with it. And that is my Alpenglow. I do like it. I don't know if I will make it again, but I am definitely wearing this to Rhinebeck. Even if it's too hot, I will have it with me at the very least. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I really liked it. It came together super quick, too. And this is the first time I've used mohair, and I'm already dreaming of a all-over mohair wool turtleneck. I'm just envisioning cold winter days, a hot cup of tea, a really long, oversized mohair turtleneck, and some leggings. Yeah, so that's on the list, but that is the only finished object I have this week. The only other thing I want to touch base on as a semi-finished project is my witching hour, which, again, I mentioned in the last episode. So, the witching hour by Dear Ingenue, I think. I'll put it on the screen. I finished the body. Oop, that's the back. Finished the body. I I love the motif. I love the color work. It was a very fun and very, very quick knit. I used Drops Lima, I believe. It's an alpaca wool mix. If it's not a worsted weight, it's very close to a worsted weight. It came together very fast. The only problem is I don't like how it fits. It's a swancho. And I knew it was going to be questionable when I decided to make this pattern. I don't wear ponchos. I've never worn a swancho, and I kind of didn't think I would like wearing a swancho, and I was right, and I don't. So the problem is that your armhole doesn't start until basically your elbow, almost maybe even a little further. So you're kind of like T-Rexing it for everything. And when you move your arms too much, it catches and it pulls the whole yoke up. And so then it just looks like, I'm like wearing it like this. And I don't know, constantly tugging at it. And granted, I've not put the sleeves on it. So, there's the chance that would pull it down some, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. And I don't think I'm going to knit them on there. I think because I did this all in animal fibers, I think I might felt this and make it a pillow, honestly. Because I do love this. And, my husband said, oh, you put so much time and effort into it. And I can't believe you just, won't do anything with it. And I don't want to rip it out because I do like the way it looks. So I think a little pillow actually might be really cute. Make a little holiday pillow. For me, the holidays means Halloween. You can see I've just gotten started. Sadly, I need to finish. I even have my Halloween wine glass. Toxic. That suits me just right. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but currently I just have it laying over the top of my chair. I just kind of look at it and go, could you be a pillow? I'm almost afraid to felt it because if the felting, I don't know, I was going to say if the felting goes wrong, I'm out. However many skeins this is, but I didn't pay a lot for it. I think I'm just going to try it. I'll do a gentle felt and see how I feel about it, and then I'll go from there. Yeah. So that's that. It's a beautiful motif. I might use this pattern in something else. I saw somebody had done like a cardigan, and they took the skull and made that kind of like the whole back of the cardigan, and then they did like the moon phases either above or on the sides, and it was really cool. I don't know if that's what I would do, but I'm certain I could find something for that. And she does have a like proper sweater pattern that still has the same type of skull. They're just a lot smaller. And I really liked the look of kind of the whole upper body of the sweater. I also saw somebody else had taken this color work section and split for the sleeves where a normal sweater would be and just made, like let's say you split here, they just made this part all sleeve, which makes perfect sense and I'm sure looks fabulous. And yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that as I was making it, because even as I made it, I was like, I'm really not going to like how this fits. But here we are. I don't really feel like ripping it back. If anything, I'll just make another one. It was very fun to make. So yeah, there's that. Not much to say about it, I guess. All right. That's all I have for finished/semi-finished projects. Next, we'll move on to some whips. I have a lot of languishing whips, and I have a lot of whips that I should be working on, but I'm not working on. So these are only the ones that I am actively working on. So first, I have not shown this one before, but this is the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. It's a free pattern. Ta-da! Very simple. He's got it up on Ravelry, of course. It's a top-down triangle shawl, and it has he has the option you can either do the eyelets or not do the eyelets. I chose to do them, but I wanted something simple that would show off this color change and this yarn that I'm using. This is the Dolce Cashmere from Hobby, which they gave to me to do a review on a couple months ago. There's a video for that on the channel. This is working up really, really beautifully. It has such a nice drape to it. I'm using a size 3 US 3 needle. I started with a 4, and I kind of honestly like the gauge. I got better with the 4, but I needed it for another project, so I stole it and just switched to a 3. And it's not quite as drapey. And like personally, if I had a choice, I would have done it all in the 4, but it's not that big of a deal. You can't really notice it. And this is a gift knit for my mother-in-law, and I know she's not really going to notice it, but it's so soft. It's just, and it's like very tight, very dense. I love the color change. I really like this dark purple that I'm getting into at the bottom. So it's kind of gotten to be a bit of a slog, though. I mean, it's a lot of stitches, and I still have a lot to go. So this has been my movie knitting, my reading a book knitting, playing a game, anything I don't really need to like pay attention to my knitting, that my hands are free, and this is what I'm working on, because it's just knit across, purl back, knit across, purl back, and it's a real slog on the purl side, let me tell you. But she's gonna love it. My whole plan is, my husband's really bad about waiting until the last minute to get Christmas gifts, so I started this. We'll get her a shawl pin when we go to Rhinebeck that hopefully if somebody has made. And then Christmas for mother-in-law is done. So yes, I would like to have this finished realistically in the next 2 weeks. I'm really trying to, it's not exciting. Let's put it that way. This is not an exciting knit. It's going to be pretty, and I'll be glad when it's done, but it's not very exciting, and I want it to be done. So kind of making myself work on this so I can get it off my needles. Please excuse my dog. I'm just gonna play some music so you don't have to hear her chewing on herself. She has bad allergies. She's had really bad allergies in the fall. It used to just be the spring, but this fall has been awful. She's like chewed holes in her skin. So she had to go on allergy medicine, but it's getting better. She's coming out of it. Anyways, moving on. So that's my boneyard gift knit. Next, I started this when we went to Maine. I wanted something that would, I packed 3 skeins of yarn, I packed my needles, and I packed a bunch of stitch markers, and I knew that this would be something that takes a long time, so I figured that would be the only project I took, and I would get as far as I could, and I really want to wear this sweater, so I was like, better start early. Everybody says it's a nightmare to get through. I am talking about the Birch Pullover by Andrea Mowry. It's like the Andrea Mowry hour here. Ta-da! I love it. It's so great. So first off, you will notice my gauge or tension is off straight down the middle. I took this chunky plastic stitch marker. It was just kind of like what I grabbed, threw in my bag, took up there. So I almost didn't have enough stitch markers for the raglan parts of the the sweater. So I just kind of used what I had, and I was glad that I had it. But now that I'm home, I really need to switch that out because you can definitely tell. I'm hoping it blocks out. It probably will. But yeah, the back looks a lot better. Yay! I love this so far. I'm using, what am I using? Drops Flora. It is a fingering weight wool and alpaca blend. It's very soft. This, of course, makes a very squishy fabric because it is all half fisherman's rib. A lot of people really shy away from this pattern because it's half fisherman's rib in the round. So that means that you have your knit purl round, and then normally in fisherman's rib or half fisherman's rib, you have a knit relief round. But because you're doing it in the round, it's purling. So it's knit, purl, and then the next row is all purl. And it's done on US size 2s, which I used to make socks on. So it does take a long time. It is definitely not quick. But I did everything. I split for the arms. So everything, from here to here, I did just in the car or waiting for the plane or on the plane. And then so far, since I've been home this week, I've gotten that much done. So it's kind of long. And it's definitely one of those ones that, like, even if I only have a couple minutes here and there, I just pick it up and just do 2 rounds. And then I've made some progress. And if I have more time, then I do go ahead and sit down and work on it. But I can't. It's not something that I'm really comfortable, like, TV knitting with. I can do it for the purl rounds because, purling. But the knit purl side, I don't want to miss. I've miscounted. I've gotten my knits purls messed up and then had to rip it back and blah, blah, blah. So it's just better if I'm paying attention. So I am making a size 3, my default. I did swatch. Woo, look at me. Did I wash my swatch and block it? Maybe not. But you know what? It's going to be okay. There is plenty of stretch in this. I am so excited for this. This is such a good wardrobe staple. I want to put, like, in the cold part of the winter. I already know how I'm going to wear this. I've got dark blue skinny jeans, and I've got a red and blue plaid flannel. I put the flannel on. I'm going to pop the collar out. I'm going to have the tails out. I'll have those on. I got these really cute boots I can wear with it. I'm so excited. I just want this to be done. I want to wear it. But luckily, it's still too warm here. So I knew I would want this by November, so I'm glad I started when I did. Because it might take me till November. I would not be surprised, though, if I made another one of these. It has not been bad. Now, the sleeves might be another question, might be another story. I have the Chowgu tiny circulars, and I have them in twos. And I'm hoping, my intention was I was going to make socks with them. I do not like making socks on those teeny tiny little loops. I don't even know if they're 9-inch circulars. I don't know what they are. They're very small. But I'm thinking one of the cables in there is going to be long enough that I can use that for the sleeves, and they should just go very quickly. I don't like doing magic loop for sleeves. I will if I have to, obviously. But I very much prefer a smaller circular. It's what I usually do. I have a knit pick set that's 4 through 10, I think. Yeah. But since this is a 2, I'm hoping that Chowgu set works out. So we'll see. See when we get there. Can always buy something if I need it, I suppose, but try to make do with what we got. Yeah, that is my birch pullover. Very excited. Can't wait for it to be done. This might be a product knit. Okay, and my last thing that I am actively working on is what? Another Andrea Mowry. I've already got a Cinnabar shawl that I showed a couple episodes ago, but I shared with you guys that I made it out of wool of the Andes for the main color, and what is this stuff called? Chroma fingering for the contrast color. The chroma is great. I've used it in other projects. I love it. It's the wool of the Andes I do not like. It's so itchy. It's rough. It's not stopping me from wearing it. And I mean, I've got wool sweaters and I wear those just fine. I don't know what it is. I think it's particularly where it hits because I like to. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a bomb going off. It's my old dog going up the steps. Everybody's very excited because we just went out with the chickens. So hi, baby. Totally lost my train of thought. Here, you want to say hi? Say hi. Hi, baby. This is Ava. Ignore my bright shorts. Yeah, you being good? Baby, sweet girl. Go lay down, honey. Go, go, go. Oh, I got my golden is licking my legs. The golden retriever, believe it or not, is the one that tore up the chicken. This one, the old dog, the brown dog, Ava, she loves the chickens. She can be around them. She doesn't bother them. She went up and sniffed the sick one and then was like, "You're not worth my time," and left her alone. Girls, any old poo. I'm going to pause this until I can get them settled down because they are going nuts. Okay. Fingers crossed they'll be quiet for a bit. Anyways, as I was saying, I wear my shawls generally, like a shawl. I like to have them over my shoulders. It's not cold enough really to like wrap it around here, but if it's chilly in the house, I just throw it on. If I'm sitting out by the fire pit, I throw it on. So I think it's just the way that it drapes on my neck and that weight, it just rubs back and forth. And it's just itchy and it gets like, gets stuck in your elbow creases and that's itchy. That is gross. Ew. Dog. Anyway, point being, probably won't buy wool of the Andes again. Some people love it, and that's great. It's a good price for the product. But this one I am making with more drops. It's the Andrea Mowry and Drops episode. So this is Drops Lima. Same thing I made the failed Swancho out of. It's very soft. It's wool and alpaca. Basically worsted weight. Yeah. It's not itchy at all. Like, it's very squishy. And as I'm making this, I'm like, I just want to curl up in this. I cannot wait until it's done. And as for my contrast color, this time I went with this. This one's it's not in a great place to show you all the colors, but it's called Vermont. Chroma fingering. Okay. Anyways, Chroma fingering weight yarn, knit picks / weave crochet. It's called Vermont because it's supposed to be a sunset over a lake. And not sure how I feel about it. I loved it online, but so this is how it's knitting up. And it's not bad. It's really not bad. Especially like it's one of those things like you look at it on camera and you're like, it's really not that bad. I think the issue I have with this is that I feel like this teal and this orange, which you can't really see it in the brioche side, but orange. I feel like they're a little too much, because you have this like deep, deep wine red or purple. And then this just feels like it's a little too bright, like it's too blue. But overall, I don't know. It's really not that bad. But anyways, this is the Cinnabar shawl. I'm using a US size 6. It is made with basically it's a forced reverse stockinette on one side and then a 2-color brioche on the other. It's an asymmetrical shawl. I've worn the heck out of my other one. It's not hard to make if you're thinking about maybe I want to make one. You should totally do it. I mean, I'm already on my second one in 2 months? Hi, Bailey. Here's my other dog. This is why I don't usually film on the couch because it's too accessible. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to finish this, and I probably am going to wear a lot of it, but I think the other color set I used the first time is definitely like more my speed. It was a light gray with a red into black fade for the contrast color. I wear a lot of black, I wear a lot of red. I wear a lot of dark colors. So this is maybe just getting me out of my comfort zone. But you know what? I went out of my comfort zone with that Alpenglow being so bright blue, and I love it. I would not have picked those 3 colors off the shelf ever, and they came out really well. So I need to just embrace it. Katie. So that is it for the works in progress. Like I said, I've got a couple other things on my needles. A Christmas knit for my friend's sister. It's another Lune shawl, but I haven't made a whole lot of progress with that. I haven't made a whole lot of progress with my half and half triangle shawl. They're kind of, I need to work on the Christmas knit. I need to get that one done and this boneyard shawl, and then I don't really do a lot of Christmas knitting. It's a lot of pressure. So, and I'm a very selfish knitter, so there's that. Yeah. So let's move on to things that are new to me, things that make me so happy. Katie, I swear, I'm taking these from you. You cannot lay here and chew on me while I'm talking. I love you, but quit. Okay. So I know some people are a little strange about names on the internet, so I will not use any names, but a very, very, very kind person out of Texas reached out to me a couple weeks ago on Instagram and asked if I would be interested in some of her destashed yarn. She was going through getting rid of stuff, wanted to send it my way. I said, well, heck yeah, who says no to yarn, right? So she is so kind. I don't even have words. I hope you're watching. Hello, hi, thank you, yay. I got this huge box of yarn, and it was like a knitter's Christmas. I just kept pulling out beautiful thing after beautiful thing. My husband walked through, and I had like everything spread out all over like the floor around me. He was like, "It's like a sea of yarns." Like, I know. So thank you again 1,000 times. Thank you. You know who you are. But I wanted to share just a couple of things out of that box. Like I said, it's a huge box, and you will be seeing most, if not all, of those things and projects in the very near future. But just wanted to show kind of my favorites from there real quick. So, again, I'm losing the lights. I'm trying to talk fast. She sent some hand-dyed, gorgeous, fabulous yarns. So these are from Red Stag Fiber, which I'd never heard of. But look at the tones in that gray. This is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And it's like right up my alley color-wise. Love that. And I also really, really love from the same company. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love tonals, because it doesn't, you turn it one way and you get a whole nother color set. It's just amazing. So these two are both from Red Stag, which they're just, look at that. Oh, they're very soft. They are merino, cashmere, and nylon. Hello. Heaven. And then these two. Look at these. I love this. This, of course, my husband, he likes black and orange and all of those things, so he loves this one. He thinks it looks like rusted metal, like in a good way. Love that. And then this one I think is on the same base. Superwash merino and silk. Crazy. This one is beaches. Totally see that. They're just stunning. Yeah, there's so much yarn in there. This is only a fraction of it. So thank you again 1,000 times. I can't say it enough. I'm so excited. I can't wait to make stuff with these. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is the mystery knit alongs coming up with Stephen West. I really kind of wanted to use some of these in my knit along colors, but part of my whole thing with going to Maine was I wanted my souvenir from the trip to be yarn. So I went to a yarn store in Portland, and I bought. We flew into Boston, so we had like a day in Boston, and then spent the rest of the week up on the shores of Maine. So I've got a Boston yarn for my pop, and then I got Maine yarn spun and dyed in Maine for one of my contrast colors. So I already had the two, and it could not make these quite work with what I already had. So they will make other beautiful things. That having been said, so this is my color pop. This is Dirty Dye Works. This is my Boston colorway. And it is a hand-dyed tonal, obviously. It is, I mean, it's a very pumpkin-y orange. They call it persimmon. I don't really know what a persimmon is, so sure. It's just so pretty. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to be, what does he say? Don't stress, say yes. I wanted to just kind of go with it. So this was my first choice. So to go with this, I got Quince & Co. Quince & Co? Yeah. Finch. 100% American wool. In this really dark teal. And I love this color. But here's a fun story. So my original plan was to go with like a medium color gray or this alpaca, which I had in my stash, which looks good, right? Except I only bought two of these, and it's also falling apart. I only bought two of these, and I had them laid out so I could just, admire my color selection, blah, blah, blah. And this is noticeably smaller than this. And it wasn't until yesterday that I was like, these are 50 gram skeins. I need 200 grams of this. And I only bought 100. Nobody around here sells Quince & Co. So, twist my arm. I had to go to the yarn store yesterday. I didn't love some of the fingering weight selections. I wasn't sure what I wanted to go with. I definitely knew I was going to stick with I don't know what I'm doing to this poor skating arm. I'm making it worse. Don't touch it. I definitely knew I was going to stick with my pop because I want my Boston colorway in this shawl. Because it's kind of, it's like a part of this year. 2022 shawl with 2022 travel yarn. Sure. So what I ended up going with is Perennial. This is really pretty. It is a superwash merino, Surrey alpaca, and nylon mix. This is just merino. I've used this before. I used this in a different colorway to make my Nomad tee. Don't remember who makes that design, but it's on my Ravelry. Yeah, super gorgeous. A lot lighter. Same kind of family-ish, but a lot lighter. So I'm still going to stick with the alpaca from Drops and this is going to be my color palette. I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's going to be pretty, or it's going to be hideous. I'm nervous. I have knit two of his MCal shawls before. I did Slip Stravaganza and Shawlography. I don't know why I can't ever think of the name of that one. But I knit them both last winter, and I obviously waited till the end of the MCal was over, so I knew what they would look like. And I cheated and picked, my colors and everything after the fact because I knew they would look good together. I am so nervous about this. Like, if I hate it, rip it out. I know, but I think it's just the whole mystery thing freaks me out. It's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking. I will trust and believe, as he says. Trust and believe, trust and believe. Don't stress, say yes. I've already got an extra set of US size 4 Chowgoos ready to go. I'm very excited. I did spend more on this than I wanted to. My husband's pulling in. So what a good time to end. There go my dogs. So I hope you guys are doing the MCAL. I'm pretty excited, nervous. You guys can hold my hand through it. Yeah, that's all I've got. I'm going to wrap this up before you hear the real nonsense that's coming through the door. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.